Right. Welcome to Sversity. Sversity is a learning aid service from Koyya Enterprises. And in this series, we are trying to showcase some of these technologies from the practical perspective. We are not going to cover any concepts or theory here. Rather, if you know the technology, if you are aware of the technology, here you see one or two case studies. The topic of this particular video is to develop a small to-do application using ReactJS. What you see on the screen is Visual Studio Code, and I'm having npm or node already installed. I'm in a specific folder, which I call as the home folder. As you can see, my home folder is Sversity, and this is where I'm going to create a new project to develop the to-do application. So we can do it in multiple ways. I'll be using the time-tested, maybe very popular tool that is a create React app. So I'm doing this one now. So npx create React app, and you need to give a name for it, for the project. So I'm giving the name as to-do. So this tool, that create React app tool, is now getting downloaded and also executed so that it can actually create the basic folder structure and a sample application on ReactJS. So all we need to do is just once the project is ready, go and make the changes, customize the code for our purposes. In our case, we are going to develop the to-do application in the sense we want to build a small app through which somebody can add the tasks to do or tasks to be done, and they can mark them as if like it is concluded or not. And also it should be the person should be able to remove some of those tasks as well. Right, so that's what we are going to do. So as you can see on the screen here, the project is created. You can see to do as a folder. So let's get into that folder, and you can see there are a lot of files and folders got created under this new project folder. As you all know, node modules is the place where you will have all the dependencies loaded already. And package.json helps us in project manifestation, essentially, what dependencies we really require here. I'm using React 18.2, the latest stable version at this point of time. And few other things, as I'm not getting into all these things now. So under SRC, you see different things. This is the entry point, that is the index.js. This is where you are actually loading the app into some element whose ID is root. The app is defined here, and the element root is defined here. What I do in the beginning is like, let me clean some of these files so that I don't want you to get overwhelmed with the too many number of files over here. So things that I do not really require here in this application, I'm just removing them. So I'm removing the icon files, some of these files. I'm not saying they're useless. In our case, they are not relevant. And CSS I'm not going to use here. I'm removing that one also. And we are not going to write any test cases as well, so I'm removing even them. And what is left is app.js, app CSS, and app test. Even here also, I'd like to remove the CSS and other things. All right, so these are the files that are really required for us for this application. In index.html, maybe some of these meta elements are really useful. We can keep them. But otherwise, things that you feel like they are distracting you, I am just removing them. Let's say the description for this one is, let's say, to-do app. Right, and anyway, we are not using any of these PNGs and other things, so I'm removing them. Even title also, it is like to-do app. Script is anyway almost enabled in almost all places. So I just cleaned this file. Now you can see that there is nothing great about this HTML file. Only thing that is of interest is like there is a div which is empty and its ID is root. And that is the element we are trying to fetch here. And in that element, we are trying to render a UI component of ReactJS, which is defined in a file called app.js, right? So again, here also let me clear things that are not being used. Fair enough. Right, now let's go to the app.js. Here also I'm not going to use these files, the CSS and other things. So I'm just clearing things that are not really required for us. Nothing else. I'm not doing anything new. Okay, this image also I may not be using. Yeah, let me remove all this stuff. Why do I require even this one also? Let me just create a simple H1 saying like to do app followed by maybe a ruler just to give an impression as if like this is a heading. So now we have a stateless functional ReactJS module, which is returning this particular element, which is just containing a heading followed by a ruler. So that's what we are going to see now. So let's run this and see whether it appears correctly or not. So let me close the other things. So you can see that the TODO app is now appearing here. All right, so now let's do the rest of the stuff. Let me come to index.js. Index.js. I think we are doing some mistake here. That's why, yeah, now it is clear. Now it is correct. And to see if there are any errors that are being shown, let us open the developer tools as well. All right, so it is just there for us in the console. Now let's see what we want to do here. The first thing is like, maybe after in the app, we'll be developing this app component, right? So in this component, we'd like to have a text box here and a button so that somebody can include or somebody add a new task. So let's say like this is new task and let us have an input. Let's say this is placeholder and description, task description, let's say. And then we have a button, maybe we'll say add. That's all we say. So write new task description. If I write some description here and click on add, the task is supposed to be added. That's what our idea is. All right. So whatever we enter here, we need to first remember, right, before we add it to the tasks. And the tasks we are going to show them just below this box. So let's have a placeholder for that. Here also let me put a ruler. And this is where I'll be having a list of tasks. So this is where I'll be having the list of tasks. Where are those tasks? Let's create a state variable to hold the tasks. So I'm creating a constraint. Let me call it as tasks. And we'll use this particular hook, use state hook. And initial tasks are empty. It's an empty array, nothing is there. And when we show here, this is where we'll be just only listing out all the tasks one by one, nothing else. So for that, we'll be writing small piece of code. So we'll get the tasks, we'll map them. When we are mapping, we'll get the current tasks, current task and its index position, right? Maybe let's say just I. And with this, we'll create the real listing. So I will be using li. Maybe we'll enclose this entire thing in an unordered list. And within that unordered list, we'll be having these list elements. Each list item will be having, all right, each list item will be having an index, the key. We need to give a key, right, when we are printing the collection of elements. So this key is going to be the current index position, that is I. And here we'll be having the actual task and its a description. We'll get the task, we'll show the description. Essentially, our tasks will be having a description and status as its what we call the fields. Okay. So here you do not see anything different because we are not seeing we haven't given any tasks. Just for the sake, let us add one task here. Let's say description is to build a demo video, build a demo, let's say. And the current status is, instead of status, let's say whether it is active or not. Let's say this is active. So this is our task, what do you call structure. So now if we see build a demo as a task is being listed over here. If I am having a few more, all of them gets listed over. But apart from just having the list of the what do you call the tasks, for each of the tasks, we also give buttons like to close the task and to let us say to remove the task and etc. So let us include those buttons also, and not just only Ally is going to have just only the text, but also will be having the buttons. Let's say close to close the task, and the other button is to remove the task from the list. Maybe just for the sake of clarity, let me have them formatted like this. Okay, so this is how it is now appearing. So our idea is like when somebody click on close, this item should be closed. All right, this item should be closed, and otherwise maybe we'll show the status also. Why not? Let us show a status as well. Maybe let me make a small change. So here we'll be giving the status whether it is active or not. So we check that if it is active, then it is like pending. If it is not active, then it is closed. Maybe something like this. Sorry, active is part of the task, right? So we are having build a demo, it is pending currently, and then you want to say close and remove. Maybe let me give a small div for all these three things together. You know, Li can contain anything, right? So let me have this so that they all come in the, what do you call, next line. So this is the one, currently the status is pending. We want to close or remove and such kind of stuff. All right, so this is how we want it to be loaded. But instead of having this dummy demo, dummy task, let us actually include the behavior. Let us have the behavior to really add a real task. So for that, again, let me create another, what do you call, state attribute. Let me call it as description itself and use state. Initial description is nothing. And that description is what we want to map it here. So we want to say value is that description. But how do we set the description? We want to have the mutator as well. So let us have set a description as the mutator. And here we say on change, we want to mutate the description. Whenever anything is changed in the input text box, we want to mutate the description. So for that, let us have an event handler. So let's say on description change, every time description changes, we want to receive that event. And what we want to do, we want to set the description with the value of the current target. Who is the current target for us? This fellow, because this is where we are going to give this mapping. So with this, on description change is our, we are yet to define this, yeah. So this description change event handler we have mapped to this place. So every time we make a change, that is to be added to the this particular description state attribute. And For button, we want to say like on click, we want to do something. So for that also, let us have an event handler. On add, so here you would like to do something like we want to update the task list. So for that also we require a mutator. So let us call it as set tasks. So I call that function over here, set tasks. We need to provide a new list of the tasks. We cannot change the existing task list. We need to provide a new array, as you know, right? We need to replace the existing array. Only then ReactJS knows that the state is changed. Otherwise, it would not know. So for that purpose, I am having a new array and I'm spreading the existing tasks to it and then adding the new task. With the same attributes like description, we have whatever description we have in the state attribute, we'll be having it here. And active, initially every task is active. So we'll just say it is true. So we can safely remove these dummy tasks here. And here we say on add. So now when somebody click on this button, on add function will be executed, in which the existing tasks are replaced with new tasks plus whatever tasks that were already there, with which we'll be creating the new array of these tasks. And these tasks are already mapped to this list, right? So we should have the functionality appropriate. Let's say build a demo. I click on add. All right, so build a demo is pending. If you want to close it, that means if you are done with that work, you can close it. Otherwise, remove if you want. Oh, this is not getting cleared, right? So let's do that one also. So here we are just saying on set tasks, right? So let us have a couple of things, not just one. So once the task is added, sorry, we want to set the description again back to nothing. The format, it would be more clear. Right. Now let's see. Let me reload. Add a new demo. Now it is getting cleared, right? Add a new demo is the task, and immediately below that, it's the current state as if like it is pending. Whether you want to close or you want to remove. Perfect. Now let us include the action handlers for close button and remove button as well. Maybe remove is the, let's start with close, okay? So here for the close, let us say on click, let us call it as like on close event handler. We are yet to build that. And here for this on remove, let us say it is on remove. Now we need to build those action or event handlers. So let us have on constraint on close. On close, we want to know the index position of the task, right? Index position of the task, so that all I need to do is get the tasks and to spliced. All we need is like this. Sorry, we are closing on it, right? So we want to map it on. We want to map it only. So tasks map, and here we say the current task and index position. Current task and the index position. And this is where what we do, we basically identify each of the tasks, whether it is in the current, if it is in this particular location, index position, then we want to change its status from active true to active false. So let us check if the I, okay, we have two I's here, right? So here we will say this is index. If I is exactly the index position, in such a case, we'd like to give a new task with the existing task description, but a new status. Otherwise, just we leave it as it is. So this is what we are doing. If the index position is matching, then we say description is the current task's description. And whether it is active, we say it is false. Otherwise, whichever is a task, that task just goes as it is. That's it. So this is for closing. Right, I just closed. Similarly, want to do the other. Okay, we'll see whether closing is working or not. Okay, because we have on remove already declared, we need to write it. So on remove, let's again look at this position. And from the tasks, we need to just remove it, to spliced or to sliced, I believe. From here, one element we need to remove. And these tasks, whatever we created, we need to set them to the tasks list. Basically, all these new tasks are getting added to that fellow. Same here also, set tasks. So let's try this again. Build a demo. Add this. I'm saying close. I'm not seeing anything. Remove is getting removed. So let me see if something is wrong with our thing. So on close map, the index position is exactly this. Okay, I'm not sending the index position, right? We're just saying on close. On close, where is the index position? So actually to say, we need to get the event here, and here we need to specify the I. Same thing here. Build demo, something. Close, yeah, it is closed. If I remove, it is getting removed. But the problem with this one is like, if I just say something like this and say close, it is closed. This button is still appearing. How about reopening it again? Let us do this one. So let us have another button. And this time it is to reopen, or just say maybe open this task. So this is appearing. We don't want both of them to appear every time. If it is closed, open button should appear. If it is in pending state, then we need to close. We should be able to close it. So one of these two things only should appear. So again, we'll be using that, this ternary operator. So first we'll check whether it is in the pending state or in the closing state. Okay. If it is in the pending state, then close button should appear. If it is in the closing state, then the open button should appear. So that's our idea. So let me do it once again. If it is active, sorry. Right, if it is active, show the close button. Otherwise, show the open button. Only one of them will be shown. So initially, let us have like build a demo. Right, currently it is pending. So if I say close, it is closed. If you want to open, you can open. If I want to remove, that thing is anyway happening. So build a demo, close. If I click on open, nothing is happening because we are yet to add a proper event handler for this. So on open, let us call that hello, and do the exactly opposite to this. Whatever you are doing for on close, we do it for opposite thing for on open. So if it is open, it is now again in the active state. So now let's see the things. So this is how it opens. And now I am adding a task like build a React demo. If I, okay, let us add a couple of more. Upload the video. Okay. And what else? Post it in LinkedIn. Let's say these are the 3 tasks. So just now we have created the demo. So I am closing this. Whereas uploading the video and posting it on the LinkedIn are still pending. Assume that I found there is something wrong with this demo. So I want to reopen this. Okay. Maybe I have second thoughts. I don't want to post it on the LinkedIn. So I'm removing this. That's it. This is the app that we just built. Here, I'm not using any composite elements, composite components, and etc. This is just to build a simple app which uses some state management. In the at some other point of time, we will enhance this application to include some best practices. Writing entire application in one single module is not a good idea. So let us create multiple components and let us have some interactions among them for the same application, but we'll be making it as flexible as possible so that we can really live up to the what do you call the promise of ReactJS, in which we can build reusable UI components. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.